Okay, so we move to the next topic in this, or I can say the module in this the material product realization processes. So this next module is module on machining processes. So machining processes are the processes which basically are also a shaping processes. But in this case, the shape of the material or the product is changed by removing excess material from it. Perhaps we have studied in detail about three major product realization processes, which included casting, then forming, then joining. Uh, but in machining, how this is different, that the material is or the product is shaped by removing excess material from this product. So you see here a photograph which I have presented. So this photograph typically shows you a job here. We call it as a job in case of a workpiece here. So this workpiece, basically what it does, this is the noise. So this is the job or workpiece here. And this is basically the tool, cutting tool, we call it as the cutting tool. And the excess material here is removed in the form of a chip. So typically all these machining processes, they work in this fashion of removing excess material. So I can say that machining, it is a subtractive process. Why? Because the excess material here, it is removed, uh, excess material is removed, sorry, is removed in the form of chips. So we call this material which is getting removed here a chip. So machining processes are very popular in all the industries which are creating products. So they can basically, these machining processes, they can handle all the variety of materials that are there. Again, they also have a wide variety of classification. Perhaps we may not be able to go in detail of each of them. They can manage metals to all extents. They can manage plastics, polymers, composites, ceramics. All the materials that we have discussed can be managed or can be processed using these machining methods. So with this brief introduction about this, we move in more details about these machining processes. So machining processes are also known as material removal processes because material is getting removed in the form of chips, okay, in form of chips. So that is why they are known as the subtractive processes. So you may observe that all the surfaces around you, maybe on a tabletop, maybe the surface on or the any holes which are drilled, which we just discussed in case of fasteners, they are produced using machining processes. So there are several reasons why we should understand about these processes or develop a rational approach to understand these processes. First and foremost, they can be applied to all variety of materials. So all materials here I mean is metals that I just mentioned, ceramics, then plastics and composites. Almost all the composites, they can be machined. Then they can produce wide variety of shape and geometrical features. So if you want to produce a specific geometrical feature or shape on any product, you have to go to the machining processes. So perhaps definite shapes which can be modeled as mathematical equations, those shapes, as well as shapes which cannot be modeled as mathematical equations. So all the geometrical features, they can be produced using machining processes. Then the main important aspect or the reason of using machining processes is they provide the dimensional accuracy. So what I mean by dimensional accuracy is Generally, the parts which are produced, say by casting or forming processes, they are oversized compared to the final requirement. So the dimensional accuracy is that the dimension of the product will be very much similar to what is the dimension required on the drawing of that product. And of course, to provide the good surface finish on different products, machining processes are used. So there is a special category of machining processes known as finishing processes, which provide this good surface finish. At the same time, we also have to understand that machining processes, they have certain limitations, because in first and the foremost limitation of any machining processes is lot of waste is produced. So what is the waste which is produced in form of machining is basically the all the chips which are produced, which are removed as excess material. So those become the waste of this product. So it is very important to collect those chips. Those chips are not just simply disposed of, but they are being collected and they are again sent to the foundry for casting and all. But collection of these chips, segregation of the chips is a very tedious task, and that is why machining processes, they produce a lot of waste. Then of course machining processes are time consuming. So time consuming, what I mean is, I can say casting is a very rapid process. Just you have the molten material, you pour it in the mold and allow it to solidify. It is that's it. But with machining, you need to basically work with the whole surface of the product to remove the material, and this material is never removed in one go. It is always removed in a layer by layer fashion. So that also I will discuss why it is all removed in a layer by layer fashion, not in one go. So that makes machining as a very time consuming process. So these are some of the limitations of the process of machining. And broadly, if I look classification of these material removal processes, they are classified as metal cutting, and then grinding and advanced material removal processes. We will see more classification details of them in the subsequent slide. So before I discuss about the more details about the machining processes, it is first important to understand what is machining. So machining is essentially an operation or a process where we remove excess material from the workpiece. So workpiece is often termed as blank here. So workpiece and blank, they mean the same. Excess material from this blank is removed in form of chips. Now to remove this excess material, we need to have a cutting tool which will be removing this excess material. So this is very similar to as you scrape off peels from different vegetables and fruits. So basically what you are doing, you are removing the layer, external layer of any fruit or vegetable using a scraper. So scraper is the cutting tool, or the knife is the cutting tool that is there. And the vegetable, you can consider it as the job or the blank. So when you move past the knife on any vegetable, so I am taking example of any vegetable and knife. So then you can understand the machining process. So the vegetable here is basically the knife. You're removing the peels from the vegetable using the knife. So what you are doing is basically you are relatively moving the knife on the surface of the vegetable to remove the peel. So if you don't move the knife on the vegetable relatively to the vegetable, so perhaps because in the absence of the relative motion, no peels will be produced. So it is important to understand that in machining, a relative motion is also important. So blank here becomes, or it is analogous to the vegetable that we are discussing. So this either you can give the motion to this blank or the workpiece, which is known as the cutting motion. CM here basically stands for cutting motion. And I am discussing about the uh, knife here. So this cutting tool that I am showing here, this becomes analogous to the knife that I am saying. Then also we can provide the relative motion to this cutting tool, which is denoted by this Fm. So Fm here stands for feed motion. So in any machining process, there is a blank, there is a cutting tool. So either the motion is provided to the cutting tool or the motion is provided to the blank. Motion provided to the blank is known as the cutting motion. Motion provided to the cutting tool is known as the feed motion. Either both the motions can be provided or one of the motion can be provided. The objective of this motion is to have a uh, relative motion between the tool and workpiece. So if this cutting tool moves past the workpiece surface, so what it will do, it will perhaps remove all that excess material in form of the chips. So once the excess material is removed in the form of the chips, so then what is going to happen? You will get a final product whose dimensions will be smaller than the dimension of the initial blank, considering all the excess material has been removed. That is one aspect. Another aspect is you will get a perfectly finished surface with accurate dimensions. So you can observe that the dimension of the blank was not a perfect dimensions. There were slightly rough surfaces, but on the machined surface, they are perfectly smooth surfaces are being achieved. So this process of converting this raw material, here the raw material was the blank, into the finished product by removing excess material in form of chips is known as machining. So cutting tool, it has to move across the workpiece to remove this excess material, and there has to be a physical contact. Again, we go back to this example of knife and vegetable. Now, if I talk here of a very important property that is known as the hardness. So we have discussed hardness as one of the important property in the beginning. So hardness is a property to resist scratching or indentation by the external object. So if hardness, you can consider a hypothetical scenario where the hardness of the knife is less than the hardness of the vegetable. Will you be able to cut that vegetable with that knife? Perhaps no, because since hardness of the vegetable will be higher, so knife will either break or it will get blunt. So similar scenario exists in machining processes also, that hardness of this cutting tool is a very important aspect. So hardness of the cutting tool uh, it has to be higher than the hardness of the workpiece, because then only material will be removed. Otherwise, the cutting tool will either get blunt or it will break. So this is very important to understand. Hardness of the cutting tool, it will be always greater than the hardness of the workpiece whenever there is a physical contact. Of course, we have advanced machining processes where the tool may not be in physical contact with the workpiece, but those are very different processes. They do not apply force, but they apply heat, or they apply force in some different form. Here, force is applied by physical contact between the tool and workpiece. So, hardness of the cutting tool, it should be definitely higher than the hardness of the workpiece. And then there comes another important aspect, that how this relative motion has to be produced in case of machining. We are taking example of vegetable and knife. So there perhaps we are having manually we are doing it using our hands. But in machine tools, what is done in practical machining? So we have a machine tool here. Please understand machine tool what it is. Machine tool, it is a basically a component or a assembly of components which provide this relative motion between the tool and workpiece. So suppose we have a drilling machine. So drilling machine is basically a machine tool which is providing relative motion to the drill bit, means it is rotating the drill bit against the workpiece. So then a drilling machine becomes a machine tool. So machine tool is different than cutting tool, because cutting tool is mounted on the machine tool. So just to simplify things again, so there is a drilling machine. I think drilling machine many of you might have seen or used also at home. And then there is a drill bit which is fixed in front of the drilling machine. So drilling machine is basically the machine tool, okay, and the drill bit is basically the cutting tool. I hope you can appreciate the difference between the machine tool and the cutting tool. So the objective of the machine tool is basically to provide the relative motion between the tool and the workpiece. So next we understand what is the purpose and the principle of machining. So by now you might have got some idea that machining is a subtractive process. It removes excess material in form of small chips. So the objective of removing this excess material is to have a good dimensional accuracy and good surface finish. So often when any product reaches the machining stage, okay, so when it has reached the machining stage, it has basically undergone the primary processing, because machining, and we have in the last we have discussed the joining processes, they come in the category of secondary processes, secondary manufacturing processes. And primary we have also discussed, like the casting and forming. So casting and forming that were discussed earlier, they come in the primary manufacturing processes. So often when the product has reached the machining stage, it has undergone either casting or maybe forming or maybe both, maybe joining also. So generally in those processes, the dimensions are not very accurately controlled. So to impart the proper dimension, machining is needed. And of course, we may be able to provide good dimensions with very good forming processes, like flashless forming process and all. But forming becomes very much impractical and uneconomical when the size of the job is too large. So very large jobs, they cannot be formed. So in that case, again, machining is the best economical option available. And generally casting and forming, they cannot produce very intricate shape jobs, although there are some processes like investment casting and all we have studied, but they are very, very expensive. So machining is the only practical or the economical method to produce large number of jobs in complex geometrical shapes, which cannot be handled by other processes, primary processes like casting and forming. So we can understand the purpose of the machining is to have a good surface finish, which can provide the functional requirements, performance requirements, and a longer service life. And machining is done by removing excess material in form of small chips in a layer by layer fashion. So if this is the workpiece, so these layers will be removed strip by strip. If we are to remove the complete layer from the workpiece, so the whole layer cannot be removed in one go. Perhaps we will take the strips and layer by layer we will be removing the material from the workpiece. So I will stop here today upon introducing this topic of machining. Now we can have some questions from you on the content covered until now.